Hello, today we will discuss about the two-port network parameters. The first type of network parameters, they are called as the Z parameters, which are also called as the open circuit parameters. For the open circuit parameters, the equations are given as V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2 and V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. That means the first two Z parameters I can get by putting I2 equal to 0 or by open circuiting the output port. When I put I2 equal to 0, I get the first Z parameter Z11 which is equal to V1 upon I1, and I get the second Z parameter Z21, that is V2 upon I1. The other two Z parameters I can get by open circuiting the input port, that is by putting I1 equal to 0. When I do that, I get the third Z parameter Z12, which is V1 upon I2, and the last Z parameter Z22 is V2 upon I2 when I1 is equal to 0. Now all these Z parameters, because they are the ratio of voltage divided by the current, so they are in the impedance form. So the unit for the Z parameters will be in ohms. So once you get the Z parameters, then we can develop the equivalent circuit of the given network in terms of the Z parameters. So you see Z11 is there in the series arm here at the input port, Z22 is in series arm at the output port, and then we have the two current control voltage sources, one whose magnitude is given by Z12 into I2, and this current source whose magnitude is, both are the voltage sources, the current control voltage sources. The magnitude of this voltage source is Z12 into I2, and the magnitude of this voltage source is Z21 into I1. Another type of two-port parameter is called as the Y parameters. They are also called as the short circuit parameters. The equations for the Y parameters are given as I1 is equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2, and I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. The first two Y parameters I can get by short circuiting the output port or by putting V2 equal to 0. When I do that, I get Y11 is equal to I1 upon V1, and I get Y21 that is equal to I2 upon V1. The other two Z parameters I can get by short circuiting the input port or by putting V1 equal to 0. When I do that, I get the third Y parameter Y12, that is I1 upon V2, and the last parameter is Y22, which is equal to I2 upon V2. All these Y parameters, you can see the ratio of current divided by voltage, so it's in the admittance form. So the unit for the Y parameters is in mho. Now when we determine the Y parameters, we can develop the equivalent circuit of the given network in terms of the Y parameters. You can see here, you have Y11 in the shunt arm at the input port, Y22 in the shunt arm at the output port, and then you have the two current sources, that voltage controlled current source. The first current source, its magnitude is given as Y12 into V2, and the other current source whose magnitude is given by Y21 into V1. The third type of parameter, two-port parameters, they're called as the hybrid parameters. The equations for hybrid parameters are V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2, and I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. The first two hybrid parameters we can find out by short circuiting the output port or by putting V2 equal to 0. So I get H11 as V1 upon I1, which is voltage divided by current. So the unit for H11 is in ohms. H21 I get is I2 upon I1, which is the current ratio. So it doesn't have any unit. Then the other two Z parameters I get by open circuiting the input port or by putting I1 equal to 0. The third parameter that I get is H12 is equal to V1 upon V2. It's a voltage ratio, so there is no unit. And the last H parameter I get is H22 is equal to I2 upon V2, which is current divided by voltage. So the unit for H22 will be mho. Once you get the hybrid parameters, you can develop the equivalent circuit of the given network in terms of the hybrid parameters. So we can see that H11 is in the series arm at the input port. Here we have a voltage controlled voltage source whose magnitude is given by H12 into V2. H22 there, it is in the shunt arm at the output port, and you have here a current controlled current source whose magnitude is given as H21 into I1. The last type of two-port parameters, they're called as the transmission parameters. The equations for the transmission parameters, V1 is equal to AV2 minus BI2, and I1 is equal to CV2 minus DI2. The first two transmission parameters I can get by open circuiting the output port or by putting I2 equal to 0. The first transmission parameter that I get is A is equal to V1 upon V2, which is a voltage ratio, so there is no unit. Transmission parameter C is I1 upon V2, which is in the admittance form, so the unit for C is mho. The other two transmission parameters I get by short circuiting the output port or by putting V2 equal to 0. Transmission parameter B, that is equal to V1 upon minus I2. It's in the impedance form, so the unit for transmission parameter B is ohms. And D is I1 upon minus I2, which is a current ratio, so the D will not have any unit. Here I have tried to solve one problem on the transmission parameters. A T network is given. Now you can see here that there are 3 loops, so I can simplify this and simplify this network and convert this into just 2 loops. So you can see here that you have the 3 resistances connected in delta. So if I apply delta to star transformation, I can simplify this network. So I want to convert these 3 resistances, 1 ohm, 8 ohm and 2 ohms, which are connected in delta. I want to convert them into star. So when I do that, the first resistance R1 will be equal to 1 into 8 divided by 1 plus 8 plus 2, which works out to be 8 by 11 ohms. The second resistance in star R2 will be equal to 8 into 2 divided by 8 plus 2 plus 1, that is again 16 by 11 ohms. And the third resistance R3 here it should be R3. R3 will be 1 into 2, that is 1 into 2 divided by 2 plus 8 plus 1. So again this R3 is working out to be 2 by 11. So when I do this delta to star transformation, you will find that this 4 ohm resistance will come in series with R1, that is 8 by 11 ohms. Then the 6 ohm resistance will come in series with R2, that is 16 by 11 ohm resistance, and R3, this R3 that is 2 by 11 ohms will remain in the shunt arm. So this is how it will look like, So this 4 ohms coming in series with 8 by 11 ohms, 6 ohms coming in series with 16 by 11 ohms, and 2 by 11 ohms coming in the shunt arm. So when I add these two resistances, here it becomes 52 by 11 ohms. On this side it becomes 82 by 11 ohms, and in the shunt arm you have 2 by 11 ohms. So you can see by applying simple delta to star transformation, we have converted the network which had 3 loops. We have converted it into simple 2-loop network. Now here to find out the first 2 transmission parameters A and C, I have to open circuit the output port or put I2 equal to 0. So that is what we have done here, I2 equal to 0. When I apply the KVL to the input side, I get this equation, that is minus 52 by 11 I1 minus 2 by 11 I1 and plus V1 will be equal to 0. So when I do that, I get this equation 54 upon 11 I1 is equal to V1. Now if you find out what is V2, because I2 is 0, the voltage across this 2 by 11 ohms will be V2, which is nothing but I1 into 2 by 11 ohms. So that is what we have got here. But what is I1? I1 is 11 by 54 V1. So I put down the value of I1 as 11 by 54 V1 in this equation number 2. So I get V2 is equal to 2 by 11 and I1 is 11 by 54 V1. So when I simplify this, we find that I'll get V2 in terms of V1. So I can easily find out the first transmission parameter A, which is nothing but the ratio of V1 and V2, which is working out to be here as 27. Because it's a voltage ratio, it will not have any unit. Similarly, from equation 2 here, I can get the second transmission parameter, that is C, which is nothing but I1 upon V2. So I1 upon V2 is nothing here but 11 by 2, that is 5.5. It is in admittance form, so the unit will be mho. To determine the remaining 2 transmission parameters B and D, I have to short circuit the output port or put V2 equal to 0. When I do that, we'll find that here, if I apply the KVL to the first loop here, the input side, then minus 52 by 11 ohms, minus 2 by 11 into I1 plus I2 plus V1 is equal to 0. So when I simplify this, I get the equation as shown in equation number 3 here. Applying KVL to the second path here, this path, so it will be minus 82 by 11 I2 minus 2 by 11 into bracket I1 plus I2 equal to 0. So here straight away I get the equation in terms of I1 and I2, that is I1 is equal to minus 42 I2. What is my transmission parameter D? It is nothing but I1 upon minus I2. So when I take this here I1 upon minus I2, it works out to be 42. It is a current ratio, it will not have any unit. Now I1 is equal to minus 42 I2. So this value of I1 in terms of I2, I will put it in equation number 3. So I get here 54 by 11 remains as it is, but I1 is minus 42 I2 plus 2 by 11 I2 is equal to V1 is equal to V1. So here when you simplify this, you will get the equation of V1 in terms of I2. So easily I can find out this transmission parameter P, which is nothing but the ratio of V1 upon minus I2. So when I do that, I get the answer as 206. Now this is in the impedance form. So the unit for transmission parameter B will be in ohms. So another network we have tried to solve here, where we are finding out the H parameters, the hybrid parameters. So this network which is there having capacitance of 1 farad and inductance of 1 henry is here. I am first transforming it into the S domain. So when I do that, we will have 1 upon S impedance in this branch, 1 upon S impedance in this branch, and here you will have the impedance of S. Equations for the hybrid parameters we know. The first two hybrid parameters we find by short circuiting the output port or putting V2 equal to 0, and the other two transmission parameters, sorry, hybrid parameters, that is H12 and H22, I find by putting I1 equal to 0. That is what we do here. First we short circuit the output port or put V2 equal to 0. So the first hybrid parameter, is V1 upon I1, is nothing but the total impedance as viewed from these two terminals. Now you can see here that these two impedances are in parallel, and the equivalent of that is in series with this impedance of 1 by S. So that is what we are finding out, the total impedance. These two impedances are in parallel, so 1 by S into S divided by 1 by S plus 1, and equivalent of that is in series with this impedance of 1 by S. So I add 1 by S here. So when I do this and simplify it, the equivalent impedance as viewed from these terminals here, these two terminals, works out to be 2S square plus 1 upon S into bracket S square plus 1, which is nothing but our first hybrid parameter, that is H11, which is nothing but V1 upon I1. Then by applying the current divider rule here, that I1 is the total current, then I can say that I2, that is the current through this impedance of 1 by S, will be equal to minus I1, minus because I1 and I2, they are in opposite direction. So I2 is equal to minus I1 into the opposite impedance, that is S, divided by the sum of the two impedance, that is S plus 1 upon S. So when I simplify this, I get the second hybrid parameter, that is H21, which is nothing but I2 upon I1, and that is working out to be minus S square upon S square plus 1. To find out the other two hybrid parameters, I am putting I1 equal to 0 here. So when I put I1 equal to 0, I can say that the voltage V1 is nothing but, so here first equation I get V1 is equal to the voltage across this, that is I2 into S. And similarly, applying voltage divider rule, I can say that V1 is nothing but this voltage V2 into S divided by S plus 1 upon S. So this is the equation I get by applying the voltage divider rule. So straight away I can get here V1 in terms of V2. So once I do that, I get the third hybrid parameter, that is H12, which is V1 upon V2, and that is working out to be S square upon S square plus 1. To get H22, I have here V1 is equal to I2 into S. But what is H22? It is I2 upon V2. So I already have I2 here. I have to express V1 in terms of V2, which I can get from here. V1 is S square upon 1 plus S square into V2. So I put down the value of V1 here as S square upon 1 plus S square into V2. So I'll get the equation in terms of I2 and V2. So once I get the equation of I2 in terms of V2, easily I can find out the last hybrid parameter, that is H22, which is nothing but the ratio of I2 upon V2. Now this is the interrelationship between the two port parameters. You'll find that if you know the Z parameters, you can find out the Z parameters if you know the Y parameters, if you know the transmission parameter, if you know the hybrid parameters. So you can also find out the Y parameters if you know the Z parameters, if you know the transmission parameters, if you know the hybrid parameters. You can find out the transmission parameters again if you know the Y parameters, hybrid parameters, and the Z parameters. You can find out the hybrid parameters if you know the Z parameters, Y parameters, and the transmission parameters. So you can see here the Z parameters. You can find out, for example, Z11 is nothing but Y22 upon delta Y, or Z12 is minus Y12 upon delta Y, or Z21 is minus Y21 upon delta Y, or Z22 is Y11 upon delta Y, where delta Y is the determinant of the admittance matrix, that is Y11, Y12, Y21, and Y22. So in this way, you can correlate this interrelationship between the two ports table, and these equations are useful so that if you know the one parameter, so if you know the Z parameters, then from the Z parameters you can find out the Y parameters, you can find out the transmission parameters, and you can find out the hybrid parameters by using this interrelationship between the two port parameters. Now this, if once you know the two port parameters, we can comment upon whether the given network is reciprocal or whether the given network is symmetrical or not. What is the reciprocity theorem states? Reciprocity theorem states that the ratio of excitation to response must remain the same even if they are interchanged. So with the excitation on one side and response on the other side, you take the ratio of excitation to response. Then the second step, what you do is you interchange the position of excitation and response and again take the ratio excitation to response. In both the cases, this ratio must be the same. So when that happens, we say that the given network is reciprocal. What is the condition for symmetry as far as the two-port network is concerned? If the impedance measured at one port is equal to the impedance measured at other port with remaining port open circuited, then the network is said to be symmetrical. So in other words, if I want to express this condition of symmetry in terms of equation, so if I have say V1 upon I1 when I2 is equal to 0, I find out V1 upon I1 in step 1. I find out V1 upon I1 with I2 equal to 0. In step 2, I find out V2 upon I2 when I1 is equal to 0. In that case, V1 upon I1 when I2 is equal to 0 must be equal to V2 upon I2 when I1 is equal to 0. So that is when we say that the given network is symmetrical. Now how we can comment in terms of Z parameters? When Z12 is equal to Z21, I can say that the given network is reciprocal. When Z11 is equal to Z22, I can say that the given network is symmetrical. When Y12 is equal to Y21, I can say that the given network is reciprocal. When Y11 is equal to Y22, I can say the given network is symmetrical. When the transmission, in terms of transmission parameters, when AD minus BC is equal to 1, I can say that the given network is reciprocal. When A is equal to D, I can say that the given network is symmetrical. In terms of hybrid parameters, when H12 is equal to minus H21, I can say that the given network is reciprocal. And when H11 H22 minus H21 H12 is equal to 1, I can say that the given network is symmetrical. Here, you can derive all these equations. For example, Z parameters in terms of Y parameters and Z parameters in terms of hybrid parameters, Z parameters in terms of transmission parameters. So one way is that you just memorize all these equations, or you can derive it on your own also. For here, for example, I have tried to derive the equations for Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. Now, what are the equations in terms of the Y parameters? It is I1 is equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2, and I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. From these two equations, if I want to find out the equation for V1 and V2, I will say V1 is equal to, in the numerator I will have the matrix. In the first column, instead of V1, I will have I1 I2, and the second column I will keep it like that only, that is Y12 and Y22, divided by, it will be the admittance matrix, determinant of the admittance matrix, that is Y11 Y12 Y21 Y22. So this will be equal to, if you open out this will be Y22 I1 minus Y12 I2, and divided by the determinant of this matrix, that is Y11 Y22 minus Y12 Y2. So when you simplify this, this becomes equal to Y22 upon delta Y, where delta Y is the determinant of the Y parameter matrix, into I1 minus Y12 upon delta Y I2. Similarly, if I want to find out V2 from this equation, I say V2 is equal to, in the first column I will keep Y11 and Y21 as it is, but the second column here will be replaced by I1 I2 divided by delta Y. So when I open this out, I will get the equation V2 is equal to Y11 upon delta Y, Y11 upon delta Y I2 minus Y21 I1 upon delta Y. So if you compare these equations now with V1 is equal to I1 Z11 plus I2 Z12, then you can say that Z11 will be nothing but Y22 upon delta Y, and Z12 will be equal to minus Y12 upon delta Y. Similarly, if you compare this equation with a standard Z parameter equation, that is V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2, then I can say Z21 is equal to minus Y21 upon delta Y, and Z22 will be equal to Y11 upon delta Y. So this you can say simple derivation. If you can't memorize it, then you can derive it on your own with within no time. Once you know all these equations and how to find it out, it's very easy. So here I have derived the equations of Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. Thank you.